Fantastic. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Indexer Office Hours. Today is the 16th of September, and this is Indexer Office Hours 225. For all those who are new to Indexer Office Hours, welcome. This is the town square for graph ecosystem participants to come together and discuss the most important and relevant topics for indexers. As always, as I like to say, this is a conversation and we do love participation, so feel free to get involved in today's conversation via voice or text. If you're having any challenges with your microphone and can't speak, let me know and I will try and get that sorted for you. As a reminder, this session is recorded and will be posted onto public channels like YouTube. So if you are concerned about privacy, please bear that in mind. And with that, let's get into today's exciting agenda. As always, I will hand over to Carlos, who's with us, who will be taking us into the Repo Watch section.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again for another week. So this week on Repo Watch, we have there's a new 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗳𝗂 patch release. We're now on 3.0.17. The last couple of patch releases have been connected to the 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Polygon hard fork mostly. And 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 suggests that you do not use them for mainnet unless. So, like, I will only update it for 𝗨𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. They suggest to wait for 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 3.1, which should be out before the mainnet hard fork. So take that into account. We have a new release from Swimming Fast Firehose, Ethereum. We're now on version 2.13.1. It's a patch release over 2.13. It's not critical, but always nice to run the latest improvement. There's 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Nitro, version 3.7.2 is out. A few more bug fixes and performance improvements. This one I would advise to update because 𝗏𝗏𝗏 does need all the help it can get. And more problematically, we have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 v2, which is on version 0.3.1. 0.3 is also connected to hard forks pertaining Polygon. And this one I was advised to upgrade as soon as possible. It also addresses it also fixes an issue that's been on mainnet as well. Just circling back to 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, if you do decide to update, do go read release notes because there are some recommendations about deleting some existing data if you're coming in from 3.0.15 or 3.0.16 and decide to update to this one. Going over to consensus layer client, there's nothing out here. And on the graph stack, we have nothing out. Whereas I could swear there was I think there's a new version from 𝗏𝗀𝗏 that somehow missed updating on the indexing page on this Notion page. So I'm fairly certain there's a new 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 patch release. So sorry for some mishap that happened here. Going over to the Launchpad stack, there's a bunch of charts out. So we have ProxyD, Nimbus, mDAL-v2, Graph Nodes, Graph Network Indexer, 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Nitro all have new chart releases. I will highlight a few which have more significant changes other than keeping up with the upstream releases. That will be 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which has a new dashboard and also means to deploy dashboards with the Grafana operator, so it created CRT for it. We have ProxyD, which has quite a few improvements as well, and also a new dashboard. And the remaining ones are mostly small bug fixes or just keeping with the latest upstream releases, and they're all up to date, so they'll deploy all of these versions we went over. And that's it for Repo Watch this week, so I'm handing over as usual to Juan next.
Thanks, Carlos. Okay, for Protocol Watch, we only have some contracts upgrades contract repository updates to cover. Forum governance, forum research, and network suppress, we don't have any new updates since last IOH. For the contract repository, we do have a lot of chore PRs, mainly dependency bumps being closed because they were just, bothering everyone, I guess. And a small chore for the Graph Horizon branch, which is creating the best in contracts authentication functions for Horizon, which essentially updates the Graph Horizon as a subgraph service PR, which seems to be close to being released. Latest testing has been done. They're fixing a bunch of things related to all of the different components that need to be upgraded for Horizon to work. So hopefully we get some news on that soon. Yeah, everything seems to be going well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Protocol Watch. So I'm gonna be handing over to Kate now.
Awesome, thanks so much. Pretty similar as to our updates with last week. We have 𝗨𝘀𝗲𝗂𝗟𝗶 and 𝗨𝘀𝗲𝗂𝗧𝗏 moving through governance, and I'll share an update on that when I have a more definitive timeline. And we finished our testing for Unichain and should have a complete vote on that by the tab soon. It's looking good. We didn't have any issues with Unichain at all. And so once that kind of gets through, we'll have a better idea of timeline for that in terms of rewards issuance. So when I have a more definitive understanding of a timeline, I'll share. But I would say in the coming weeks, just be on the lookout here in IOH and in the indexer channel as well.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for your respective sections there. Now we will move on to the Network Watch segment, and we have Mitch from Edgenode to share some updates. I did see the Slack message, but couldn't read it properly. So if you want to share the update, feel free to.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, hello.
Yes, loud and clear. Yeah.
There we go. That's it. Okay. So yes, I don't have any subgraphs to share really. But essentially, the upgrade indexer hasn't been allocating to subgraphs that have been recently deployed. We've just pushed a patch for that now, and we're kind of still evaluating whether or not that's still working. Well, that is working. It seems to be some are, but some also seem to not be automatically allocated still. So yeah, we're still kind of troubleshooting on that. That's basically my update.
Gotcha. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, sometimes these things happen, so appreciate you sharing that. Let's see. So there's a question here from Matthew saying council seems to take a long time to approve. Approve what exactly? Could you elaborate? I may have missed that context there. Free to type it in the chat or come onto the mic. Okay. That's all good, Carlos. I see Kate is typing, which I'm assuming is a response to you there, Matthew. So hopefully you guys can chat about that in the chat there. Okay. I was just before we move on, I was just browsing in the Arbitrum channel, and I've seen there's some chat here, and Jim just mentioned this is something that might be worth talking about at IOH, and I see it's a conversation between Marc-Andre and Jim. So maybe Yeah, it'd be great to create some space for that chat if that's something that you guys want to cover.
Is my button working?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
1 sec, I just need to go on to push to talk.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should be aware. I mean, it'll have been in Protocol Watch probably multiple times, but there is a major upgrade for Nitro that does a whole bunch of... I don't know exactly what it's doing. Marc-Andre probably understands these things in depth. I don't, but it will basically make your node unavailable for use, your Arbitrum archive node or whatever you're doing with Nitro, for a very long time, depending on, you know, the usual things. And Marc-Andre, I think, was maybe the first one to do it publicly and talk about what's going on. So maybe he wants to talk a bit about what the experience has been like, and just like emphasizing that this is a major piece of DevOps work everybody needs to be doing, and do not get caught short without your Arbitrum nodes or you're in trouble. Marc-Andre, do you want to talk about it a bit if you can?
Yeah, sure. So specifically, it's the very version 2.7 of Nitro. So I think the latest on that branch is 2.7.2 or 2.7.3. I'm running 2.7.1. So if you're running an older version than that, there's a lengthy process of reindexing that needs to take place with 2.7. So the good thing is that it's not blocking the node completely. It's still ingesting new blocks. But there might be a few things that are not working. But that's not something I really tested because I just I upgraded one node and I pulled it from RPC, so I'm not using it for anything in production right now. But from the description of the reindexing process and the release nodes, and from the release nodes, the eth get log call is either unavailable or much slower while this process is running. So we have to be very careful about that upgrade. So I would not recommend indexers that are running just a single Arbitrum node to do that without first ensuring that it's not breaking anything. That's not something I tested, so take that with a grain of salt, but it's very suspicious the way it's described. The big problem with this reindexing process is that it takes a very long time. It's on my end, it's been running for 13 days, and it's completed around 61-62% of the reindexing. So it's going to take a while. There's no urgency to do that right now, but there will be a Ethereum mainnet hard fork coming in a couple months. I don't think the schedule have been announced yet. But for that hard fork, we'll need a newer version of Nitro. That's probably going to be 3.8 or something. So you don't want want to have to upgrade at the very last minute. So I think every indexer should make some plans to make sure to be ready by then. And to answer Vince's question, so it's 3.7 that does the reindexing.
I'm assuming we could go to 3.7.2, which seems to be the latest, and it's going to do the re-indexing anyway.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do if you're going to upgrade to the latest version anyway. That's the best thing. But I don't think there's been any improvement in the release notes. They don't mention anything relating to reindexing speed for the 3.71 or 2.72. So that's why I didn't upgrade. But yeah, everyone should be running the latest.
Okay, we're getting a good to know. Thanks for the heads up. There's also a comment in here from Vince saying, "Did you try this?" So I just want to direct your attention to the chat in case you haven't seen that.
Yeah, right now I'm running 3.7.1, but yeah, there's 3.7.2, if not the 3.7.3 that is available now.
Gotcha. Does that answer your question, Vince? Oh, it's got another question.
Does that not just skip the process entirely?
Yeah, well, GraphNode uses log queries extensively, so I would not disable that completely.
Awesome. Any final thoughts on that subject there? Oh, I see people typing, Vince as well as Sergey. Yeah, this is a nice topic that I just happened to catch in the comments there of the Arbitrum channel. So I'm glad we had the time today to open up space. So I want to make sure that people have their questions answered. No problem. Thanks for messaging in the chat there that this is something worth bringing up in IOH, because that was what flagged my attention. That's awesome. Okay, Vince is typing. I think Sergey also was typing as well. So if you have a question, Sergey, feel free to fire away, and as well as Vince.
I'll take the opportunity to ask Sergey if he's going to present the new P2P PO. Yeah, there we go. I'll shut up.
So yeah, we just released the tool that allows you to query the public proof of indexing from other indexers on the network. And there is also a functionality to find a block where divergence starts. So basically, if you give it deployment ID and two indexer IDs, it will find on which block there is a POI discrepancy.
Yeah, thank you very much for making that available. I'll certainly try it in the next couple of days. And yeah, the tool to find the divergence block, I think that's going to be very useful because sometimes we know there's a divergence, we don't necessarily know why it happened or where it happened, but using that tool, we'll be able to find where to rewind to fix it. So that's going to be very useful. I'm looking forward to test it.
Very useful for automation.
Oh, well, we tried to make it as actionable as possible, but right now there are a lot of subgraphs which have different proof of indexings. So basically, it will try to give you a block number, like it will be at the very beginning of the subgraph. So for automation, I would just take it with a bit of caution.
Okay, thanks. Good to know.
Amazing. If you could just link to the comment that you have in the Indexers channel here in the chat so people can find it, that would be awesome. Yeah, feel free to share some more information about it as well. Seems to be something that people find quite useful. And if there are any things like be careful with automation that people should be aware of, as you just said, feel free to share some more as well. Perfect. Thanks for sharing that in the chat there. Any other thoughts on that you want to share?
So yeah, also if you are trying to do an automation, there are some indexers that are sharing the graph nodes, so they will have the same proof of indexing. But we also implemented a bit of the automation to try to determine the hash of the indexer state. So basically we are hashing the subgraph IDs of the indexers, or of the indexer subgraphs. So if two indexers have the same indexer hash, it means that they're likely to share the graph node. So if they have the same POI, it might not mean that the subgraph produces the same stable POI. And yeah, the tools are using just the standard indexing endpoints, so it should be available for majority of the network. I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Amazing. Well, it seems like you're getting a lot of gratitude from people in the chat, so thank you for sharing that and working on that. There's a question there from Derek asking if anyone's still using subgraph radio, or is this the preferred replacement? Mickey's just mentioned that EdgeNode isn't, but yeah, it'd be interesting to hear from others if anyone is using this still, or is going to use this new tool from P2P as a replacement.
So we are still using the subgraph radio, but we don't react to alerts from it. Unfortunately, it's like too much alerts from it.
I haven't had it deployed since I last did a big revision on my architecture, but really it was just a matter of just not having the time. Yeah. I think in the last 3 months, I'll just say this, Derek. Last 3 to 6 months, I would say it's becoming important again, right? We've kind of like let it slide for a long time, but you know, we're seeing a lot of pings from support, even pings from customers. You know, like 𝗨𝗀𝗂𝗧𝗏 on Discord. I forget which subgraphs it is, but he's very diligent. Maybe it's part of his job to keep an eye on the consistency of their subgraphs and the indexers that are serving them. So it's becoming important again. So it's a good idea for as many people as possible to be running subgraph radio or running P2P's new tool, whatever makes sense.
Yeah, there's a couple of subgraphs I know that I'm just in some random channels and stuff, but like all of the realty subgraphs, I know that they have pretty consistent data issues. I don't know if it has to do with like token handling and how they're handling reversion of ETH calls on their chain, or I don't know exactly why they're happening, and I haven't inspected it. But I know that divergences definitely occur, and on our side we have one of our guys checks our POI dashboard, and you know, each week it just seems to be the exact same, and I don't know if that's because there's an issue with our dashboard or if it's because there's not enough people that are reporting POIs or what exactly. And so we were talking this morning of whether it's even worthwhile to continue looking at that. But either way, the one thing I don't want to do is forego the data validation that we have on the network, because if that goes bad, then you just lose people, right? So whatever our system is for being able to check that we are all converging around the same information, I think that's really important. And I don't really care if it's subgraph radio or this new tool or whatever, but at least something that we can all kind of work together on.
Yeah, great points.
Amazing. I do. Speaking of POI divergences, we have some updates coming up on that in the coming week. But for today, we have 𝗨𝗀𝗪 with us, and he's going to share a few updates on the road to Horizon, which we spoke about last week about, potentially having some sort of like recurring segment. There will be some more larger updates in relation to that, but it might be worth starting off with a small update now. So 𝗨𝗪𝗪, by all means, feel free to take the mic.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And this will be just a short update, just to keep everybody in the loop that Horizon is still closing in on getting launched first on testnet and then on mainnet. And we actually have a document right now on the upgrade, like on the upgrade process for indexes, as well as some additional reads on what impact it has on slashing, on delegation, on burns around in the protocol actions. And all of these documents, I will be reaching out to some of the indexes here on this call later this week. Though if someone is very interested in reading some Notion pages and giving some first feedback on those documents, let me know. But yeah, the Horizon still will be a massive upgrade because it will change most of the protocol contracts and how the indexer stack is interacting with it. It includes staking GRT in an entirely new subgraph staking service. So there will be some overlap where both services, both the legacy subgraph service and the new Horizon one will be live. But indexes will be required to close allocations and stake 100,000 GRT from like the unallocated stake to be able to start using Horizon. So the process will roughly be that the indexer stack is upgraded first. The indexer stack will then be able to both accommodate pre-Horizon and Horizon contracts. Then there will be a phase where both pre-Horizon and Horizon is supported. At that time, indexes will close some of their allocations enough to have 100,000 GRT ready to add to Horizon. And once the Horizon is live and the network infrastructure has been upgraded, indexes can start to add that back on allocate to the new subgraph service. So it should be a relatively painless transition. A lot of it happens just upfront with configuring the index agent, the index service RS, and the tap agent. But it's I think it's still important that that indexes know about the changes to the protocol and how that impacts the network. So I'll be inviting people to make a first read through to make sure things look okay, and then we'll share those documents well ahead of time with all indexes. And this is also well ahead of when we do the same on mainnet. So first it will be on testnet, and then we'll do it on mainnet. So.
Ørjan, is there I mean, this is a very different type of upgrade to moving from L1 to L2, but is there any opportunity to rotate our root keys here? So like our staking key, I guess you call it.
So you're saying like tie your stake from your previous address over to a new address on Horizon in a way? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, in the same way you were able to do that in the migration from...
In the migration, right?
Yeah, which I didn't do, and I regret having not done because those keys are old now.
Yeah, I will look into this. I am honestly not sure, considering that it is possible to do a partial migration here as well. It sounds like it might be something that the protocol team haven't taken into account, but I'll ask them and get back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think so, Marc-Andre, but I wanted to ask at least just to see if it's something that makes sense or is doable, or because there is no other way. You're stuck with those keys or your safe wallet or whatever.
Are you using an AOA or is it a?
No, I'm just using a private key.
Yeah, just a private key, not the multi-sig.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
I should have set up a multi-sig. I should have taken the opportunity. I know Derek did. I know for a fact Derek did, and I'm sure plenty of other people are clever and did, but I'm a goof.
No, I get it then why you're asking, because yeah. I will ask the protocol team, but yeah, that is a good point. Otherwise, I will be sharing more pretty soon with this group on Horizon, but for now, I don't really have anything else other than that I will be sharing this process with some here already, and then hopefully we can have that document be public quite soon, and we'll also have indexes tested on testnet before going through some of the test cases that have already been designed, and also going and doing other tests on our own as well, to make sure that things look good before we migrate the main protocol to Horizon.
It'd be interesting to know. Maybe Orion. Like, do you know how many people are running testnet indexers at the moment? Because I'm not.
I don't think there's anyone that is. Well, I don't know if there's many that are running testnet indexers just and doing it like actively. I don't know if there's any at all. I do know that, for example, in Pradar we have a couple of indexes that are registered on the testnet network, but it's not like we are looking for testnet signal and allocating and serving queries. So
yeah, okay. I think I have I'm registered already, I think, from a long time ago, but shouldn't be too much bother to spin a really small stack up.
Yeah. And yeah, it's still it's something that we will be working with a handful of indexes on getting it totally tested on the testnet, and something that most likely will be facilitated by InfraDAO, and ensure that we have some incentivization and have some structure to the testing process, so that we ensure that everything is tested and everything looks good before we do the full upgrade.
On the testnet, are you planning to organize a migration on the testnet, meaning that, okay, we run the current contracts and current software and everything, and then we set a date for an upgrade, and everyone upgrade, or the contracts are upgraded on a specific day, and then indexers can test the migration of their stuff and their stake and their software and everything. Is it the plan?
So on my end, you are quite, like, your volume is quite low. But if I get you correctly, if you plan to have like more a test launch and the entire migration process on the testnet, so indexes can participate and have a more of a dry run, if that is what you're asking.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Yes.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm not sure how many indexes would be participating in a dry launch on the testnet, but if there's interest for it, we can definitely look into facilitating that. The plan, I think, was to do that with a handful of indexes that are testing it on testnet, have them go through the dry run. But if other indexes are also interested in participating, spinning up an indexer on testnet and going through the dry run, then I can look into that. Is there anyone else on this call that would be participating? Would it be?
Well, I would certainly be participating because my understanding is that indexers will have to run specific steps to upgrade, and we'll definitely want to try these steps on a testnet, and there'll be just one shot to test it, right? Unless we have several upgrades on the testnet. So I think we'll all want to participate to that.
Yeah, if you don't want to have some kind of ugly problems to deal with on mainnet, then it's in the interests of indexers to take part.
Yeah. Yeah, I can look into that. And if anything, we should already have all of the documentation ready by that time. That should be ready very soon. So indexes could participate, and then it's nothing more than making sure that the communication that goes out to the testnet partners will also go out to the indexer community as a whole. We could set up a channel for it here in Discord, for example, and make sure that the dates and everything is communicated there, and that would actually be a good idea as well for just seeing how indexes that haven't been involved and already like on calls and got and are being handheld through the process, how it is for them to follow the documentation and go through the upgrade and dry run. It is if everything goes well, it is not a very complicated migration from the indexes perspective. It's basically just updating the indexer component and setting new environmental variables, and then in the CLI, you can actually add new stake as long as it's unallocated to your old allocations. It's simply graph indexer, provision add, and then you add how much stake you want. And then that provision stake can now be used in the subgraph data service. So it's a simple you provision it directly from the CLI, which is also why it leads me to believe that there will not be an option to rotate the keys, but yeah. I will just make sure. And the delegation parameters will need to be updated, but that will be the same. Like the Graph Explorer will be ready by then, so indexes can use the new Graph Explorer to set their delegation cut. So it's simple and straightforward until it isn't, as always with these upgrade processes. So we'll make sure that we also do the upgrade at a time when it's all hands on deck, and we can help indexers if there's any issues with the upgrade. But hopefully we can get it all sorted out on the testnet and make sure that we minimize any chance of indexers getting stuck in the upgrade process in some way. That's all I have on my end. So I'll give, unless there's any more questions on Horizon, I'll give the word back to Able.
Amazing. Thank you so much there for the update, Slim, and responding to the questions there. Matthew's getting some appreciation, giving some appreciation in the chat there. Speaking of Matthew, I believe last week you were asking some questions about either GraphNode or IPFS, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember what the conversation was about, and that you also wanted some updates from the EdgeNode team? So I've got a couple of folks from EdgeNode who joined us today to hopefully give you some updates. I believe it was something in relation to a postmortem. Is that correct? Do you remember? Not sure.
It'll be the pinata stuff, Mark-Andre, I don't know if you're talking, but we don't hear you. But it would have been around the pinata issues that Fubi was in the chat getting his hands dirty, helping everybody out. I think they've been resolved at this point, but I don't want to speak on EdgeNode's behalf.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, that may have been it. Yeah, I do remember that conversation. Any updates from the EdgeNode team? I see Mickey's typing. I'll see if the ops team has. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just while there's half a second, I couldn't figure out my push to talk earlier when Derek was talking about the. God, I'm blanking on this word right now. But what's happening on our side is that the things that are showing up as divergent, POI, thank you, there we go. The things that are showing up as POI divergent, we're not even indexed on. It seems like it's old data, just to give you a better idea of actually what's happening. It just doesn't seem like it's current. Sorry for backpedaling, I just couldn't figure out my push to talk earlier when I meant to talk after Derek.
All good. I'm going to try to see if I can give you some ability to speak without push to talk. Just give me a second. And in the meantime, if anyone has any thoughts on what James said there, feel free to chime in.
And like what Vincent said, it's just a subgraph radio.
Okay, let me see if I can. That's strange. I've just verified you as a member. You should be able to speak, and then I'm also gonna here we go. Okay, perfect. So you can try disabling push to talk and speaking without that. You should be able to hopefully chime in there. Sorry about that.
It's no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And then POAP is ready, so you guys feel free to grab that as well. P2P just dropped a new PIO tool, so we're just trying that out. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so Mickey said she's going to reach out to the ops team about this postmortem. It sounds like there haven't been any IPFS issues since, according to Marc-Andre, which is great. So yeah, that seems to be moving forward as a conversation. I see Mickey's typing, so maybe there's some additional context that she's going to provide us. I asked them. They're going to write a short postmortem for us. We'll share it once it's written. Perfect. Are you? Do you want to come back onto IOH and share in here, or on the Indexer channel, or where would you like to share this so folks can have a read? Async in the Indexer channel is sufficient. Perfect. Okay, amazing. Great stuff. Well, great to see that there was a closed loop on that one there. I just wanted to make sure that questions were answered. So that's good stuff. Okay, so we've got a final 10 minutes, and we have gone through all the topics for today. So last 10 minutes is kind of like open discussion. If anyone wants to bring up anything or any questions, any things that people want to discuss, maybe even like suggestions for things you guys want to see going forward in terms of topics to discuss. Open space. Any thoughts? See Mickey's typing. This is a fun one. She wants indexer lore. How did you all come up with your indexer names? There are some interesting ones in here. We've got like Wave, 𝗨𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗂, P2P, Pinac, Notify, Data Nexus. If anyone wants to share some wisdom on how you came up with your names, that would be very interesting to know. Yeah, me too. I really like DataNext. Like the consistency in the branding is really well done. Like you can tell when DataNexus shows up for a call because they all have their cool futuristic profile pics. Yeah, exactly. It's like one unified squadron. It's amazing. The fifth wave, interesting. Oh yeah, that's very Daft Punk. I like it. Okay, let me have a quick read of this. Is this your blog post, Jim?
No. It's the inspiration for the name Wave 5.
Okay. All right. I'm just having a quick skim. It seems to be something technology related, so I'll have a read after the call. It seems like you've thought deeply about this one, and it's relevant to the business, which I like. This reminds me of when I asked ChatGPT for a unique and unused index of names. Let's see what it said. Wait, it came up with Notify. Holy crap. That's funny. Seems like that one's already taken.
Have you trademarked that, Vince? Can you sue OpenAI now?
That's such a good point. Yeah, Vince, have you trademarked it? Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's hilarious. That's in the US, I would imagine, right? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So you have a case there. Wow. Yeah, anyway.
I never paid attention to your avatar before, James. I can see it now. That's funny.
This is so cool.
Trying to think who else is on here.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check the
Streaming Fast. Where'd that name come from?
Oh yeah, is there anyone from Streaming Fast here?
Well, yeah, Josh is. That's why
The
I'm asking.
dumbest name, lol. any We stream data fast. Don't get me started. That's funny. Defuse was cool, yeah. Did D stand for decentralized? I don't know. But don't tell them I said that out loud. It stays here between us. Data Nexus was simple, data coming together, nothing fancy. Our logo has a bit more of a story, though. The design was intended that a single unassociated datum is less valuable than when data is put in the proper location. Thus, a data hexagon is growing in a now place. Nice. I like that. Anytime I say edge node outside the ecosystem, people think I'm saying engine node.
Yeah, what about Pinax?
Yeah, what's the story there? Oh, he's posted something. Martin came up with the name. Oh wow. Pinax preserves knowledge in ancient times, as do blockchains today. Oh, very, very wise. Name full of wisdom. I like that. Everyone misspelled it and drove them nuts.
What about upgrade indexer? Where does that come from?
yeah, edge node. Where did that come from?
𝗨𝗪𝗪𝗀. I wonder what that one's all about.
Yeah, any thoughts?
Where does Jim come from? Where did your parents just give you that name, Jim?
Well, they named me James, and I decided I wanted to be called Jim at some point. They're behind the fifth wave, of course. What do you think they're doing? It's in the logo. Look at my logo. It's made of 5 waves, literally.
Oh, by the way, Vince, for me, I would call that a courgette. I don't know what you would call it. Is that what you would call it? Blasphemy? What? How is there another name for this thing?
Yeah, I remember New Viba.
You could also call that a Maros.
Zucchini. What was the other name?
Maros, courgette, zucchini,
Oh.
and Maros. Maros are just usually smaller, but it's the same thing, essentially. A summer squash.
There you go. I didn't know that. I learned something new today. Okay. It's from a domain name. Interesting.
A good one, Inflex's indexer, decision basis. That's a really awesome name for an indexer. Decision basis being one of the commands that maybe people still use it, I don't know, but it's like one of the original agent CLI commands you would use when creating rules to index things.
That's nice. That's pretty OG. That's pretty cool.
Definitely OG.
Yeah, I like that. I like when thought has been put behind a name. Yeah, I was thinking semiotic. I think it's something AI related, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. Anyone from semiotic want to chime in on that? The origin of the name? Any thoughts, Joseph, on semiotic? I just googled semiotic and it says, I don't know if this is true, but semiotics is the systematic study of interpretation, meaning making, and the communication of meaning through signs, which can be verbal, gestural, or artistic. So yeah, you are correct, Mickey. The theory of signs. I'm interested to know, like, if there's any more lore there. There must be something. Yeah, it seems to be a thing in the world of sociology, anthropology, psychology. So yeah, that is correct. 𝗨𝗂𝗂𝗟𝗶 is the rebrand, but then everyone had noted the name, so I was okay.
It
Nice.
was 𝗨𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀, Vince. Which is also a good name.
Yeah, it sounds futuristic, like quite sci-fi. I like it. Very nice. Yeah. I wonder, let's see if there are any other indexers, maybe from the indexer chat, that there's 𝗨𝗀𝗄𝗎, 𝗨𝗀𝗄𝗎, 𝗨𝗀𝗲𝗂𝗃 Gary, Steak Squid. Yeah, these are all cool names. Yeah, I think I'm gonna when oh yeah, that's true. Yes, I've always called you Slim Chance, but I don't know the law. What's the law behind Slim Chance, Orion?
Well, it's actually initially it was a kite surfing trick. So where you jump and then you flip upside down and then you take a 360 while upside down and then you land back on your feet.
Are you a kite surfer?
Is this something you're doing every day?
I am.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say there, Jim?
I just said, so is this something you're doing every day, like as a exercise?
You could say I tried that I did a variant of it. A variant of a Slim Chance.
That's epic, dude. That's really
now
cool.
I understand what the name means.
Oh, nice. Who's the kite surfer on the Pinex team? AK face planting gracefully.
Aim scream nice. Come on now, Vince. I'm not telling you that. Might find something on the internet. I don't know.
Is there a video of you doing this, Orion? Doing
kite surfing, I am sure I do have some videos somewhere on my old like GoPro videos from back then. I've done it from time to time later as well, but yeah, I used to do it a lot on snow in Norway.
Nice.
So I've been pushing for having a retreat in the snowy lands so we can go kite surfing on snow afterwards. So.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing until I had a friend who is a big kite surfer do it in Colorado in after Denver, and I was like blown away at how insane it is. Yeah, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun, and on snow you don't need to worry about like sinking every time you fall, or like sinking if you stand still, or if the wind stops for a brief moment when you're on water. It's just such a hassle, but on snow it doesn't really matter. So I prefer snow.
Yeah.
And you can go anywhere. You don't need to be worried about you don't want to sail too far from land when you're kite surfing on the water, but with a snow kite you can go anywhere, and You can just go cross country from one cabin to another one.
No way. People do that? Have you done that?
I have.
Holy crap. I've heard of cross-country skiing, but never kite surfing. That's insane. Like how much of that time are you like catching air, you know? Are you
when you're kite surfing, you're mostly standing on land. Like you can jump, you can make some massive jumps, but you for the most part you are just riding on the snow, and it's basically like having your own you have your own lift in a way. You can just ride wherever you want to go, even like 60 degrees against the wind. So you might have like a small window of like 60 degrees that you can't go like straight against the wind, but you can cross like diagonally, so back and forth to gain height against the wind. But yeah, most of the time you're just on land. But you can jump if you want, and you can make some massive jumps. But
that's insane. I feel like I'm gonna go down a YouTube rabbit hole of watching people do this stuff after this call. That sounds epic. Yeah, and if you want, like, if you're up for it, like, I'd love to see some of the videos that you have. Like, you can just like shoot me a message or something if you're open to sharing.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. That looks epic.
Absolutely.
Oh, did you see the message in the chat there from Mickey? You should come to New Mexico and surf the giant sand dunes at the White Sands. Can you have you done it on sand as well?
I have not. I would love to. I saw something like that. The first time I saw something like that was in Peru. I saw some videos of people like surfing down the volcanoes, not with a kite, but just surfing down the volcanoes, and I was like, oh, I got to do it. But I didn't have any days left to do it by then. So
surfing down a volcano is insane. That sounds nuts.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it wasn't active because that would be a death wish.
But you're surfing down on the outside, not on the inside.
No, of course not. Is it called Slim Chance? Because that's oh yeah, facts. That's hilarious. Yeah.
After that, I just kept my name as well because it kind of looking back at my life, there's a lot of decisions that I made that was very like coincidental, that I just met somebody in for a second, like going out for dinner, and suddenly I'm working at the Graph. This kind of like coincidences that would have a very, very slim chance of happening. And yeah, I just liked the nickname after that, so stuck with it.
Yeah, I like it. It makes sense. I think that's a lot of life. There are things that are, a lot of serendipity that comes up, and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. All right, ladies and gents, this was super fun. I really enjoyed us chatting through the lore as well of all the names. That was amazing, and I'm gonna try to ask more people about the lore behind their indexer name because I think it could lead to some interesting conversations, just like today. I want to wish you guys a fantastic rest of your Tuesday and rest of your week, and we will see you again same time next week for another edition of Index Office Hours. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye.